Spartans. My name is Sickly Vindictum 117, and I've noticed a lot of people. Well, it's not that I've noticed this, but a lot of people have been talking about how they feel about Halo 5, whether they love Halo 5, whether they absolutely hate Halo 5, and while I've said this and that about how I feel toward Halo 5 Guardians, I've never actually sat down and talked about what I like about it and what I don't like, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do that. First, let me say that don't hurt me, I love Halo 5. Now, that doesn't mean I don't have my transgressions. That doesn't mean I don't have my, I don't really like that, alright, I fucking hate that, because I do have some of that. But all in all, I love Halo 5 Guardians. Now, first thing you need to know, I didn't start playing it when it first came out because I didn't have that much money and I was struggling with my job. I did not get an Xbox One until roughly the May of 2016. So yeah, I was kind of far behind. So I did not get into it when it first launched, with the very small playlist it had. I've heard stories, I've seen videos, and yes, Halo 5 did have a very, very short playlist. Its launch was disappointing in that aspect. But let's take this one piece at a time. Firstly, let's talk about the area of the game that I always jump into immediately. The campaign. Now, the campaign had me very excited through the trailers and whatnot, Spartan Locke versus Master Chief. And although it didn't exactly take that turn that they thought it would, or not that they thought, that we thought it would, based on their treatment of the marketing. The story behind Halo 5 Guardians has great potential. It really does. It has a great vibe to it. The way they did it, not like they executed it poorly, I think. I like the story. I like the direction it was going, but the way they did it was just very poor. The beginning, amazing beginning. That opening cutscene, my god, that's my favorite Halo cutscene. That's my favorite cutscene of all time. No matter whether you like Halo 5 or not, every Halo fan watches that cutscene and they come in their pants. Like, honestly, it just has that level of just epic Halo-ness to it. The first mission, absolutely love it. Kamchatka is, oh my god, a beautiful place. It's one of the most gorgeous missions I've ever seen in my life. And as the missions went by, I kind of knew that, spoiler alert, okay? Before we go any further, I'm about to get in some major spoilers, so if you don't want to be ruined, please turn off the video. Okay? Everyone gone? Okay, I'm about to talk about the spoilers. Alright. I kind of knew Cortana was coming back. I did not know that she was coming back in the way that they had her come back. And having Cortana as a villain, it was fresh. It was unexpected. It really was unexpected, and it was ballsy. I have to say, it was very ballsy. Now we know why Cortana was taken. Well, rumors from, if you watch Late Night Gaming, you've heard of this, that Microsoft forced them to kill Cortana because they did not want anyone to reference their app on Windows, the Cortana app, to Halo, to a video game. So they made him kill Cortana, but the backlash was so immense that they brought her back and they kind of just forced it in there. Now, 343 Industries has said in interviews that they knew the ending of Halo 5 before Halo 4. Before the ending of Halo 4. Based on what happens, it's a bit far-fetched, I think, unless they did not plan for Cortana to die, but they did plan for her to go bad, or do whatever she did. Maybe the rampancy was going to lead to that, which would make a better story, I think. If the rampancy, if she hadn't died because of the rampancy, but she had changed the way she felt about, ruling the galaxy and whatnot because of the rampancy, without her dying, I think that would have been a good turning point. Let's talk about characters for one. Fireteam Osiris. For the most part, I like Fireteam Osiris. They're a good team. I don't like Tanaka. Obviously, Tanaka's character is just very, very boring, very bland. Vale, absolutely love Vale. She's my wife. Buck, of course, Spartan Buck now returns, and everyone loves Buck. Everyone loves Buck, and Locke is. I do like Locke. He has a certain attitude that's very contrast to the Master Chief. Although you can clearly see that he respects the man immensely, but that's not going to, that respect he has for Chief is not going to in any way impede his performance and do his job. Like I said, the campaign had great potential. As a writer, it had fantastic potential. I love where they went with the Guardians and whatnot. Um, but the way they executed it was very poor, and Microsoft was rushing them. So we can't blame 343 completely on this. Come on, a lot of the blame falls on Microsoft because they have a habit of forcing them to put out the game. Master Chief Collection is a prime example of that. They forced them to put out that and see what the fuck up that was for a lot of people. Like I said, I started playing the Xbox One May 2016, and I've never had any problems with Master Chief Collection personally. It works okay for me. A lot of times perfect. So I can't really talk about Master Chief Collection in that sense. But like I said, the campaign is good. It just was executed poorly, and the characters, Warden Eternal, my god, what an amazing character. What an epic voice. Brilliant voice actor Dan Donahue. Just amazing character. With the exception of Tanaka, it was a good, amazing characters. Their treatment of Julim Dama, I was not a big fan of. Sure, it was cool seeing Locke just kill his ass, But if you watch the Spartan Ops, Julim Dama had such a big presence, and he is a cool character. Well, was a cool character. And their treatment of him was a bit like building up to this big moment and then cutting the strings loose, and they're like, what happened? What were you building up to just for him to die like that? Also, the Janus Key from Spartan Ops, the whole story arc of the Janus Key, I was really excited to see that continue. Like, I was wondering what the hell that was about. And they just dropped that completely. They just dropped it all. So there were a lot of things that I think they forced, or I don't know why they dropped some story arcs. I guess they thought no one would notice for some reason. As rabid as we fans are, it's kind of unrealistic to think that. I want to talk about Brian Reed. Brian Reed was the lead writer on Halo 5 Guardians, and for the most part, I supported Brian Reed. I defended him. I didn't hate on him like others. I really tried my best to defend the guy because he didn't do that bad of a job. I hate saying it like that, but the story was good. It wasn't the best. It certainly wasn't up to par with Halo 4 or any of the other Halos. But yeah, I defended Brian Reed a lot until one day I read a tweet from him, and I'm not quoting it right. Forgive me. I forget what the tweet was. Honestly, I can't find it anymore. But it was basically along the lines of him saying a bunch of people dedicated to hating something they supposedly love go out and find something to enjoy. And they're talking about people who are criticizing Halo right now. I think there are more people criticizing it than really like Halo 5 sucks. I think the contrast is that some people are saying Halo 5 sucks, but I think more of them are criticizing it, giving it good criticism, telling us what we need to change about it. And that disrespect and disregard to the fans, because I have criticized Halo 5 several times. That doesn't mean I hate it. As I've said before, I love Halo 5. But if I criticize something, it means I want it to get better. That's why you criticize something. If you hate something, most of the time you don't even try to criticize it. You just, I fucking hate that. And you move on. So after that, I kind of I didn't care anymore, because that was just very disrespectful to the entire Halo community, honestly. So Brian Reed, sorry, you fucked up. And I think that he should be replaced as lead writer. That's just me personally. I don't think he fits well. He's a comic book writer. He writes comic books. Okay, I don't think you can translate, do comic book scripts and then run into video games or movies. It just doesn't work like that most of the time. Especially when you've been doing it for a while. Yeah, that's how I feel about the campaign. The ending, I thought the ending was kind of cool, but also fucking cliffhanger. I was like, oh god, stop doing this to me. And I expected that, mainly because 343 did say that this Halo was going to be a lot like Halo 2 in terms of multiplayer ingenuity and whatnot. And I was like, well, if they say it's going to be like Halo 2, then obviously we're getting a cliffhanger. And we did get a cliffhanger. So that's how I feel about the campaign. It's good. I enjoy it. They lied though. They said the campaign was twice as long as Halo 4's campaign, and that is a damn lie. Um, which I wish they hadn't lied. You know, like they lied about aim down your sights, or sorry, smart scope. And I'm not opposed to the smart scope. I'm not opposed to it. I'll talk about that later. I am not opposed to it, but they did say that smart scope would not in any way increase your accuracy. If I'm correct, I think I'm correct. If I'm not correct, please correct me. But that's what they said, and it does increase your accuracy. I've tested it several times. Aiming down sights in Halo 5 increases the accuracy of your weapon. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that they lied about it. So 343, I don't know why you keep lying, but stop it. If something's there, we'll know. Okay, knock it off. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold still, so I'm trying to hide it. So that's the campaign. Let's move on to, well, the game mechanics of the campaign and multiplayer. I love the game mechanics. I love thrusters. I love Spartan charge. I love stabilization jets. There's all these different mechanics of the game. Just changes how you play and makes outcomes be a lot different. You know, when you go up against a Spartan in Arena or Warzone, there are so many things that you could do. There are so many things they could do, and it's all running through your mind. Like, is this dude going to Spartan charge me? Is he going to thrust out of the way? Do I have to adjust to his movement? And I think it makes the gameplay more immersive and also more dynamic and more complicated, really. If different outcomes of different actions, you know, you have to really refine and predict what your enemy's going to do, and when you're wrong, you have to adapt very quickly. And I think the mechanics work very well. I hope they return. Multiplayer. Fucking multiplayer. Multiplayer in Halo 5 Guardians is top notch, in my opinion. I'm sure others would disagree. I think that the multiplayer for Halo 5 Guardians is the most balanced Halo ever, really. Halo 2 wasn't. A lot of people say Halo 2 was balanced, but Halo 2 was not balanced. It had dual wielding. As awesome as dual wielding is, as much as I miss it, it made the gameplay very unbalanced, and that's why Bungie took it out in the first place. So if you're wondering why we don't dual wield anymore, it's unbalanced, frankly. Yeah. I would like to see it return in campaign. Like if they brought it back in campaign, I'd understand that. That'd be pretty cool. But as far as multiplayer, I think it should stay out. I want, you know, a balanced, maybe in Warzone, since Warzone's already unbalanced. Yes, Warzone is unbalanced. That's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be chaotic and crazy and whatnot. So yes, the multiplayer for Halo 5 Guardians is fucking fantastic. Let me talk about the short playlist at launch. Very disappointing. I think that it's very sad that they released it like that, and they expected it to be received well, because there was basically very little things to play, and that's incredibly disappointing. And I want to touch on a subject that's very controversial to a lot of people. These updates. Some people say, oh, it's awesome, we're getting new stuff. Other people say, this is stuff that we should have had from the beginning. I agree and I disagree at the same time. For one, certain things in these updates, game modes and maps, yes, they should have been added before the game was released. I'm with you on that. Like Infection should have been at launch. My god, Infection should have been at launch. Big Team Battle should have been at launch. Alright? All the maps should have been there at launch, unless they're extra maps, you know. We didn't have that. I don't think we had that many maps to begin with. You know, if you're going down the line and like, hey, let's make a new map for the peeps, I understand that. As far as weapon skins go, that's really extra. I don't consider weapon skins stuff that should have been at launch, because that's stuff we really didn't expect. You cannot say, Like, oh, this cool stuff we should have got launched, when you had no idea that it even existed or it was even coming. Warzone Firefight. I'm conflicted on that because we did not expect that to come back, but yet it was in other games. So in some way it should have been at launch, but I'm glad it's here anyway. I'm gonna get to Warzone Firefight in a second. I have a lot to talk about. This is gonna be a long video. Yeah, the updates I like. I like the updates. And I'm about to say something else that probably will upset a lot of people. The rec system. Now, before you get mad, I'm going to say my piece and I'm going to explain what I mean. I like the rec system. Hold on, not completely. I have some grievances toward it. The rec system by itself, having rec cards in Warzone, one-use cards where you can collect, like, get 50 shotgun cards, and I think the whole concept of the rec system is highly addicting. It is fun as hell, and it always has me coming back for more because I just want to keep building up my weaponry. You know, I just want, oh my god, I want to get like 200 saws. I just have this massive weaponry armory in the on the battlefield to choose from. I'm addicted to it, honestly. Now, microtransactions. I wish they weren't there. However, if the microtransactions were not there, we probably would not be getting free updates. Microsoft wants their money somehow. And these microtransactions are making a buttload of money, so don't expect them to go away anytime soon. But they're gonna get their money anyway. I would rather microtransactions to be available rather than them gone and every update have to pay for, because that splits the player base completely, and it is a pain in the ass. You know, you have choices between having an option where some people who want to pay can pay, as opposed to forcing every player that wants to play this stuff to pay. So it's basically, do we all pay, or do we allow others to pay for us? Because they want their money somehow. These are working. That's why we get free updates. Are the microtransactions pay to win? In my opinion, no, and I will explain why. It doesn't matter how many Rex you have. It doesn't matter. Whether or not you know how to use the Rex is important. I'm not saying, if you have a plasma pistol and you're an awesome player and you go up against a fuel rod cannon and a sucky player, that you're going to win. You're probably not going to win. I'm not to sound ridiculous, but it is not pay to win. Pay to have it is. Pay to have. I'll give you that. It is pay to have. But it's not necessarily pay to win. These Rex don't give you skill. They give you abilities, they give you special boom boom sticks, but they don't give you skill, and skill cannot be bought or sold. So within reason, it's not pay to win. I don't consider it pay to win. Pay to have it is. I'll give you that one. Anyway, I talked about the Rex system, what I like, what I don't like. I want to talk about the Arena playlist as of now. I think it is awesome that we have so many playlists in Arena. Super Fiesta is permanent. Shoddy Snipers is permanent. Just so many great modes, social and ranked. It's really cool to have so many different playlists available in matchmaking. I haven't seen one that diverse and intact as since Halo Reach. Halo Reach had awesome playlists, and I'm glad to get back to that. I've talked about what I like about Halo 5 Guardians. Now I'm going to talk about what I don't like. What I don't like is the campaign shortness. That's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that Master Chief basically has no missions whatsoever. I don't like the fact that they pegged Spartan Locke and Master Chief against each other like this big showdown fight with awesome trailers. I don't like that. I don't like the misleading marketing. I don't. One of the first times I realized that they fucked up and they really pissed me off was Breakout. Now, Breakout is exclusive to Halo 5 Guardians. It's a mode that premiered in Halo 5, and it has been one of my favorite modes. I think it is so unique, so just pulse pounding, and I loved the original Breakout. And I was pissed beyond belief. I wouldn't speak for like 2 days. I was so mad when they changed it. They took away the SMG, and they put shotguns in there. and they gave you shields. Now, the whole point of Breakout was that feeling of dread. You know, you would turn a corner, no shields whatsoever. A good headshot would take you out. You didn't know if it was going to be your end or if you were going to live. There was such a sense of dread every time you moved on the map that is unparalleled. And when you add shields to that, that sense of dread, that sense of, oh my god, I could get taken out in one shot if I turn this corner, I don't look where I'm going, is gone. It is gone when shields are added. Now it's not even that suspenseful anymore. I'm not even worried to walk around. And taking the SMG and adding a shotgun. For one, you had a loadout. Now you have a power weapon. You want to talk about unbalanced? There you go. And I also think having the shotgun encourages people to camp. I've seen a lot of that, and that upsets me. I think that having the SMG, force you to run around like a maniac and try to a huge firefight, no pun intended, ensue. But having shotguns now really forces you to just, I don't think, like, not move. Like, just camp and just be a sneaky and I think it just ruins the whole concept of Breakout. I still play it, because that's the only way I can play Breakout now. And I'm not going to say it's not fun, because it is fun. But it's not challenging anymore. I guess would be the best way to say it, in my opinion. So, yeah, I got pissed off when they changed Breakout. That was one of the few things Halo 5 Guardians did perfectly that was so unique to the game. And that's what they decided to change. I couldn't believe it. You want to change something? Make it so you can't team betray your teammates, alright? That needs to change. Why are we still allowed to betray teammates in any game mode, really? Like, I think SWAT, you can't betray your teammates, but why is that a thing still? You know how many times I get betrayed in Breakout? Seriously? You know how many times I get betrayed for my weapon? I'm scared to pick up anything now. You want to change something, change that. That would be a welcome change. You don't need to change the whole dynamic of what made Breakout Breakout. And for God's sakes, if you're going to change it, at least make it a separate playlist. Why don't you just have regular Breakout and then something called Breakout Shotgun or Breakout Shields, You don't need to completely replace it. And I have heard of people, well, most people wanted it changed. And I don't really think that. I don't think that most people wanted it changed. I think that certain people were so loud about it that they're like, oh, we better fix this before we upset that group of people. Warzone Firefight. First of all, Warzone, awesome game mode. I'm quite amazed that 343 Industries managed to make a better Battlefront experience than EA Battlefront. I'm not even going to go into that little shitstorm of a game right now. But Warzone is fucking fantastic. Warzone Firefight. When I first heard about this, I was so excited. And then I was disappointed to find out it was just 5 rounds. Not exactly Firefight, but it was still fun as hell. Even though it has several glitches that really need to be fixed. For example, pelicans spawning. Extra pelicans at the last 2 seconds of the intro. Random NPCs just disappearing. And the scoring needs to be fixed big time. I am sick and tired of loading all my rounds into a grunt mech, taking its health down so dramatically, and then when he's finally killed, just because I wasn't there at the time he was killed, I don't get any points, and that's incredibly fucked up. So that needs to be fixed. I doubt it's going to happen, though. Now, recently I lost my shit. I posted a video on YouTube of me losing my shit to this newest update, Monitor's Bounty. Because they made me believe, and a lot of my friends believe, that they were bringing back original Firefight. With the skulls, the unlimited rounds, and I also Game Cheat. Yeah, the YouTuber Game Cheat. He found audio files of Spartan Palmer saying things like, 1 round left, Spartans, or 2 lives left, or 1 Spartan left, last Spartan standing. And that got me so excited. I was like, oh my god, they're bringing back original Firefight. Of course, it never happened. But what really pissed me off was they took Warzone Firefight and they split it into 2 playlists. Heroic Warzone Firefight and Legendary Warzone Firefight. Now I'm going to tell you, the Legendary Warzone Firefight is not even close to as challenging as it was. They have nerfed it completely. Both Legendary and Heroic Firefight feel exactly the same, honestly. The original Firefight was very challenging, and I fucking loved it. Once again, you're gonna do something like that, make it a separate playlist. Don't completely replace the old one. Because now the only worthy challenging Firefight is Mythic Warzone Firefight, and that's only available during the weekends. That really pissed me off. It's things like that. What else? These content updates have been pretty cool. Like I said, some of the stuff should have been at launch. A lot of it is just extra weapons. I think they're doing fantastic with the extra weapon. I never expected this. To have like the Halo CE pistol in here and different I love the variants of different weapons. I think that's very ingenious and very just a lot of fun, honestly. All in all, Halo 5 Guardians, amazing multiplayer, subpar campaign. I'd give it average. It's not the best, not the worst, you know. And I think a lot of it is they were forced to do things, and just like Halo Wars 2 was actually supposed to release in 2016, but it was released in 2017. That's because 343, I think I heard something about this. Don't quote me, please. Don't be like, oh, you're lying. You didn't know. I heard that they told Microsoft that they were going to release it. No, I don't want to say this. No sooner than February. I heard this. It's a rumor. Don't listen to me, please. I just heard it as a rumor. Alright? Not as fact. And I think that's good, if that's true. I think they need to put their foot down and be like, no, we need more time. We cannot put it out like this. For the fans, we cannot do that. Because it really needs to stop. Halo 4 was broken on launch. Halo MCC was broken on launch. Halo 5 wasn't broken, it just had a very poor playlist option. Very sad indeed. All in all, I love Halo 5 Guardians. I love the direction it's going. I hope Halo 6 has... What I think happened was that Halo 5's story was fucking fantastic. Its multiplayer, although it was fun, comparatively to the other Halo multiplayers, it was very poor. So it wasn't the best. It wasn't that good. And with Halo 5, I think they were like, okay, Halo 4 had an awesome campaign. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's make sure we refine the multiplayer and make it the best Halo multiplayer and the best multiplayer ever. And I think they spent so much time making sure that the multiplayer was perfect. And I don't think they spent enough time on the campaign. I think when you have a super awesome multiplayer and an average campaign, it doesn't matter how good the campaign is. But because the multiplayer is just so much better, it makes the campaign look very dim and tiny. If that makes any sense. I'm trying to convey a thought here, and I don't know if I'm doing a good job. So I think they need to focus equally. And please, take your time. Take your time with Halo 6. I beg you. Please. We can wait. We got Halo 5 Guardians. We got Halo Wars 2. Please. Take your time with Halo 6, and I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm very interested to see where it goes with Cortana, Master Chief, and whatnot. And I hope it'll be a good one. You know, I don't have a favorite Halo, as I've said before. Every Halo is my favorite Halo. I love Halo 5 Guardians. I think it is a great Halo game. There are little things I wish I could change. Just because I criticize it doesn't mean I hate the game overall. Overall, I love the game. It's one of my favorite games to play. I play it all the time. I fucking love it. And I cannot wait till Halo 6. Halo Wars 2 coming out, that story looks really good, and it's supposed to tie in directly to Halo 5. So, we'll see what happens with that. So, I just wanted to take this time to talk about it, because it's a very controversial subject. A lot of people who love Halo 5 Guardians get attacked for by the haters, and a lot of people who hate Halo 5 get attacked by the people who love it. It's just an endless cycle, when I think we should all just sit down and realize that Halo 5 Guardians has good things about it, and it has bad things about it. And you want it fixed, well, attacking people who love it and just hating on the game with no merit and no idea or suggestion as to what to do to fix it, it shows that you really don't care about the game itself. You just care about hating something and hating on people, and that's wrong, I think. So that's how I feel about Halo 5 Guardians. Overall, I do love it. I just wish it had things that were fixed. I wish they had things they had done differently. But I enjoy it. It's not my game. I didn't make it. They made it. I'm not going to get up here and say we should be grateful for Halo 5 like Halo Follower did. I won't go that far. Um, but yeah, so that's what I think about Halo 5 Guardians. Let me know what you think. If you disagree with me, please let me know. Give me a subscribe if you can. Sickly Vindictum 117. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's my Twitch. That's my Twitch name. My YouTube name is Sickly Vindictum. Space in the middle. SICKLY VINDICTAM. Sickly Vindictum. Subscribe for more Halo videos and gaming videos, period. I play all sorts of games. Some with commentary, some with just showcasing them, like playlists on MCC. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed my opinions, and I hope it made you think. More than anything, I hope it made you think. Not just about Halo, but about gaming, period. The product is for us. We are allowed to talk about it. We're allowed to critique it. Doesn't mean we hate it. You guys take care, right? Keep the coffee hot. And as always, finish the fight.